What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Alex here from Team Generations, and today we're here with another market watch. So this is right before the SpringFest, the first of the season, honestly. So this is going to be the one in California. I think it's like Ontario or something like that. So super excited to see what's coming out of the meta, and super interesting to look at some of the cards that might see some speculation kind of before that, because some things are definitely spiking, other things not so much, kind of trending in opposite directions of what you would kind of expect. So can't wait to kind of cover it all. If you guys are enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like on the video, possibly consider subscribing to the channel. But without further ado, let's hop right in. Also, we do have a TCG player link if you are interested in purchasing any of these cards. Going through that link definitely helps us out. Thank you in advance. All right, so let's get started. So I want to start off with the banger. This is Blue Espada Dragon. So if you have been playing Premium for a while, you've probably seen Luard kind of in and out of the meta throughout the last 2-3 years. And it has never really left necessarily, but I think this is what's really causing this card to spike in general. We see people are actually purchasing this, you know, all within a couple days. These were purchased for that $6-9 kind of price. Like, there are no more cheap copies for it. There's only 2 listings and 1 playset available from TCG players. So Blue Espada Dragon, coming out of Team Dragon's Vanity, did definitely spike up a little bit above its $5 market price over here, and we could see that it was recently purchased. So I think, you know, this does have a premium implication. This is a decent deck overall. It can get through a lot of different stuff. Is it the best premium deck right now? Probably not, but at the same time too, this is probably necessary for it. So yeah, just wanted to bring this to our attention. And then next up over here too, another card that is kind of used in that same Luard premium kind of build, Maureen Spear Dragon, again coming out of Team Dragon's Vanity. Its market price is insane. It's $24. Just kind of wanted to bring light to this because this was purchased quite a bit in the later half of this month over here, talking about March, and there is only 2 listings, not even an entire playset available. So get your playset, I mean, get your copies now if you absolutely need this, but it is a ridiculous price. If you have any of these, maybe consider listing them if you want. Could definitely, you know, fetch a pretty penny as of right now, and I could see them reprinting this kind of a little bit later on, maybe in like a premium reprint collection set or something. So yeah. And then lastly, I just wanted to point this out over here that Claret Sword is above its market price. I know it kind of just featured all the Claret Sword cards right there, but I just saw it and saw that they are selling for well above their market price, $3 over. And if you wanted a playset of this, you are looking at around $20-30, like around that price range. So not too bad, but at the same time, for a card that's not really seeing meta play, I don't know why people are really picking this up. Maybe it has some premium implication I'm not aware of, but at the same time, just be aware of that. And then next up over here, kind of shifting gears, it's still in Team Dragon's Vanity actually, but Battle Siren Marisa, this card is insane. So we see Thavas being played a whole lot in Japan, even here in the States. I think a couple people are playing it. It's good in Premium, good in V, and there's only 1 copy of it. You cannot even get a playset of this, so cards are scarce right now. Like, cards are in high demand. If you have stuff that you've been looking to get rid of, now's the time kind of to do it. Cards are just kind of trending upwards, and I think we might see this trend kind of continue throughout the SpringFest season, so be aware of that. Over here too, shouts out to She Devil Gaming. I watch all their market watches, and they did point this out. I just wanted to kind of bring this up as well. So this is the Silver Thorn Dragon Tamer Luke here. This is the original Excel 2 market that we received out of the oh god, what was this? I think it was Phantasmal Steed. This is an absolutely busted card for $10 for a marker that's not even like one of the shiny ones. Market price $381. It did get bought out recently, or just got purchased recently for $9, $10 right there. So kind of crazy. If you want some of these, I guess now's the time to sell them. If you have them, if you want to buy them, I probably wouldn't at this point. And the same goes with the new Imaginary Gift Excels coming out of Clan Collection, Volume 4, I believe this was. So the reverse one over here, Strictly Broken, has set the floor for this at $14. You know, this actually looks really good in person, I will say that. Again, it's not like a shiny card and like a rare one, I guess, necessarily, but at the same time too, he has 30 copies up right now, so that is crazy, $15. So if you have these, again, maybe list them. Another interesting clan right here too. I'm seeing a little bit more of Nova Grappler just buzz. Obviously it's not topping or anything like that, but at the same time too, I've seen Blau now come up in like 2 different lists somewhere. And my version of Blau's we do run Kick Kick Typhoon, and this is the nicer version of it, and all the cheap copies did get bought out over here. So let me see if I can pull that up. Yeah, $2.99 the other day, $3.30. It was you know, 2 days ago as the time of recording. And they do have a festival collection reprint for this, but it's really ugly. There's only 1 copy left at $5. After that, you're looking upwards of like $44 or $50 kind of dollars to pick up a playset of this Kick Kick Typhoon for kind of like a fringe clan in a way. I love Nova Grappler, don't get me wrong, but you know, just odd to kind of see that. So this is definitely trending upwards. I know its market price is $4, but again, you're looking at $11 being the floor kind of for a playset. Another card too that we thought might have dropped a little bit more, and I think it did the other day, but it's kind of rebounded and stabilized at this $8 price, is Percival. So Percival is only available at a 1 of in a V premium deck, but in premium still, you're allowed to run it at 4 of. So if you wanted to go ahead and spam this guy, you definitely can. And Ezel and in general Golds is pretty good in premium. I won't say it's the best build period, but in general it is pretty solid overall, and we see playsets are still holding at that $8.50, $9 kind of mark. I don't think it's going to drop down to 5. I think we've really hit the stable kind of price range over here. So yeah, and you can see people are buying it at that price, 4 at $8.99, you know, 1 at $8.98, whatever. So it is definitely going on. And then this got bought out too. I was just glancing around in the gold Paladin stuff, and this is the SP version of Prominence Glare Azure Flame, so kind of a cool card. I actually have a deck profile on this, just to kind of show you how good I guess gold Paladin was, but this was before actually the Percival retrain or restriction or whatever, so don't copy that list anymore. But at the same time, this did get bought out. This was the SP version. This was a promo card. I forgot where this came out of. If anyone knows, let me know down below, but this card is completely out. You can get the regular version. It's like $2, one of the most expensive things out of, what was it, the Revival Selection over here. But overall, just an interesting buyout right there, and I've never seen one in person, so I wonder how they look. Over here too, this is kind of a card that's holding back a lot of what otherwise would have been like budget Kagero. So Lawkeeper, even the what was it, the Dauntless Reverse, Blade Master, all of those decks kind of, maybe not so much Dauntless Reverse actually, but a lot of these decks do kind of take advantage of Doha, and we see that this guy still is like $6, $7. Its market price is $7 over here. Just has a couple copies at that $5. But once this is not even a playset, once that's gone, I mean, $12, $17, like it's crazy. Like these prices are absolutely insane for a base rarity Doha overall. Like, I like Lawkeeper. I think it's actually really good in that deck. I use it personally, and you know, it's sad to say that like aside from this card, everything else in that deck would be budget. So I think this might be up for a reprint soon. I would guess it could be an option, but at the same time too, they're kind of focusing right now on a lot of like the Dragonic Overlord stuff, so with the next clan collection coming out, so I don't know if we will see that or not, but definitely interesting to consider. Oh, did I just hit off on something? I guess I did. But Sunrise Ray Knight Gurgit. So Gold Paladin, like I said, is pretty good, and I'm just wanted to point this out because the copies of this are moving. I keep on seeing it every day, kind of get bought, and I've kind of said this, I could see this card inching up towards that like $9 price range, and we can kind of see that right here. For a playset of this over here, $8, you can get it for, you know, $32 or whatever. But once we start creeping past that, you know, $5 shipping on this, let's see what the, yeah, for a real playset over here later on, for a 4 from somebody, yeah, it's $10 per copy. So Gurgit is still actually viable. I think Gurgit is actually decent overall. I think that you can now with Percival in there, and in combination with the Ezel ride line that you can do with Wonder Ezel, it is pretty decent overall, and I think the market is reflecting that. The price of this has kind of gone up again. This is a VR, so it's not getting reprinted again until I think the end of 2022 or something like that. So I can see this card going up a little bit. I think it's more or less stable, but at the same time, if you really want to play this card, buy this now. I would definitely say get a good deal, see who's selling it around the shop. And I don't want to drag on about Fenrir, but I said that it would get bought out, and it pretty much did. The price is stable at that $7.99. You know, when we first started looking at this card, it was a couple bucks, only $3, $4. The market price was $4 on that guy, and we see all of the cheap copies gone. People are buying it. They're willing to buy it at that $7 price range. Again, this is a good card. Jack of all trades, has some good generic support, really bulky overall. So I really personally like the deck. I think that it is decent, and we saw some results out of Japan recently that kind of support that. Apple Witch Cider 2, again, this card is slowly creeping up over time. I know in the beginning it was like $5, everyone thought it was so good, whatever, but as we go on, like, I think it's stabilized, and then it's going to kind of go up. So once these cheaper copies are purchased, this is like a long-term kind of card. Think of this as like the Savage Shooter, think of this as the High Class Moth, things like that kind of, you know, stuck around this price range for a little bit, but, you know, fast forward 2-3 months, it got more expensive. Now fast forward a whole year to where we're at. I think it's been a year at least since the Clan Collection came out. You know, those cards are like $10 cards now, so get your playset now while you still can for like $10 overall. This is a very good card, generically splashed into a whole lot of things in Genesis, so definitely recommend. Over here too, I think I just wanted to point out too how some of the Dudley stuff is actually rising. Dudley Davy, I know I mentioned this last week too, but Dudley Davy, Demonic Lord, Lucifer over here too. We can see the price kind of go up and down, kind of rubber banding. So it's not very expensive, but this is a card that can be used in premium. This can be used in V premium. Has a lot of different applications. So once we see a couple of these playsets, actually Ideal has them for pretty cheap. Actually, I'm glad about that. So I hope that sticks around and people can purchase this at a decent price, because this is definitely one of the value decks, I like to call it. And I don't want to see this card become expensive. So yeah, I think we're not too crazy, but overall, if you want your copies of this, I would say now's the time to buy them. Over here too, just speaking about Spike Brothers, Steady Bull Spike is well above its market price. We see one of the copies did get purchased a couple days ago. I think the market price, what was it, at $9 over here? The lowest over here is $20, so well exceeding, doubling its market price, more than doubling actually. And if you want a playset of it, yeah, you're looking for about 80 bucks on that. It is a really good card still. I think it still is viable in V, especially since the format's kind of like slowed down. It has like a lot of good generic support too in the clan, so I think it is decent. It's really cool too. The SVR rarity is definitely like the coolest. I really hope they bring something like that back, because the SP, the regular ones, just, you know, they're cool, but they're not like the best. The old ones looked really cool. All right, cool. So now we are talking about Power Back Ronaldo. Same kind of line of thought. We can slowly see the price start to increase over the past month, 2 months or so, and all the cheap copies keep on getting bought out over here. Again, if you want a playset of this, once this $2 one is purchased, we're looking at, what is it, $3.50? So that's, yeah, you're looking at about $15 for a playset of this guy over here, and it is used in premium. I personally use this in my Spike Brothers premium deck. I think this is actually a really decent card. Putting stuff into Soul is good, so just wanted to be aware of that. And this is the only printing of this too. So I know weird listings kind of keep on coming back on the market, and it's not really crazy past its price point over here, the market price, but at the same time, I can see this card kind of increasing. I think some of the later listings kind of reflect that too. I think people are kind of holding out. You know, the 3, 1, those kind of people down below who have listings, they'll get sold out pretty quick. All right, cool. Dragonic Overlord, the end. So we know that some of the new Dragonic Overlord support is coming. We also know in premium that this still is decently viable overall. I think that the market price, yeah, it was $31. We're seeing it slowly start to creep up, because once we go past, yeah, there's only 2 listings for it over here, $32 and $33. Like, this card has always been expensive. This isn't like any like crazy revelation or anything, but just kind of wanted to bring it to our attention. The old sets like this still have such value, it's insane. And I think Doha came out of this one too, so definitely expensive. And then again, the SVR is the real zinger here. Market price $35, selling for $48. People like their high rarity stuff. There's a whole lot of this on the market in general, but I mean, once it gets sold out for that $48 price range, you're talking about $80. That's absolutely nuts for this card. Like, that is way overpaying for a card that, you know, it's good. It's not the greatest in V right now. It's decent in premium. So overall, it is what it is. You know, make of it as you will. And then Dragonic Overlord, the cross. So again, we want to see that new support coming out before we kind of buy into it. But again, the market price for this is $16.99, and we're seeing copies listed for $24, $25, basically $100 for a playset. So kind of crazy. This is like the peak V era kind of prices. When this first came out, this was a couple dollars. I'm really glad I picked up a playset back then. Igniro Dragon 2 sneakily going up. So again, more Dragonic Overlord support. Market price is $663 over here, but we see listings over here. Once these kind of guys are gone, 2 playsets are essentially gone, you start to creep into that $7 price range and beyond. So definitely can be a little bit more expensive. And again, if you want to play this in V, this is definitely a necessary card. Not so sure in premium. I haven't looked at my Dragonic Overlord build in a while for premium, but yeah, this card is sneakily rising. Get your copies while they're still cheap. Dragonic Vanquisher did come back on the market a little bit. We don't see complete playsets being sold by anybody, and again, these are like more motivated sellers, newer sellers in general. 51 sales, 116, whatever. But they are back on the market for $30, which is right around the price range. I mean, the market price. So $25 was the market price there, and we're seeing it sell for that $31 price range. So people are buying this. Like, this is a very viable card. I really think this is one of the best decks in V at the moment. It's really good in premium too. If you don't want to play Eradicators, you can definitely go into this and definitely have like a solid game plan as well. Profile for this is on the channel, by the way. And the SSR2, the market price $87. I don't know if people were buying them yet. They bought them earlier this month. Yeah, somebody bought a playset of this for $95 essentially, and then $100. Absolutely nuts. The SSRs now are $149. So this is absolutely crazy. Got bought out. List your copies if you have it, if you're not playing it. So again, with Chiktora as well, more support along that line. And again, these got bought as recently as today. people are getting ready for SpringFest. They're willing to pay these higher prices. If you have cards that you don't want, don't be afraid to list them, put them on eBay or whatever. People are always looking for a deal on Vanguardians and whatnot, because a double rare for this price, like, it's just really not acceptable. This is absolutely crazy, this price point, so be prepared for that. Over here too, just talking about Genesis and some promo cards. This is another one of like just the bulky cards that I keep on referencing. It's good in like the Witches Genesis build. It's good in any general kind of one as well. So essentially you just kind of, I think you shut off, yeah, one of your standing opponent's units. You basically call on top of it. So is decent overall, and it is selling. We see a lot of copies being sold over here, $3.99, $4. So if you are interested in this, I know there's tons of listings at these prices, but just be aware that this is moving, and the sellers might just honestly say, hey, look, let's jack this up a little bit. So again, I don't know, they have so many copies, I would probably wait to purchase, but at the same time, just be wary if you're a Genesis player of that card. Another promo card I did want to touch on over here that is actually selling. We can see it being bought in a couple different instances over the past month, and the price kind of has declined. $343 market price, $2.99 selling for it. Yeah, that's actually not too bad. This is another promo card that is used in what was it, Dungaree. I think it's actually really good. You can technically use it in Vanquisher as well. Not quite as good, I don't think, but I use it personally in my Dungaree profile. You can check that out on the channel, and yeah, I really like this card. It's really nice. Helps Narcon kind of bulk out. Really interesting card too. It's not crazy above its market price or anything, but I'm surprised to see this moving as much as it is throughout the course of this month. This is Amputation Angel, a double rare out of Astral Force. Again, Astral Force is like this crazy super value set, and I know Malkuth is pretty expensive, but we see copies over here. I mean, it's $6, $7. Once these guys get purchased out, this is almost a $10 card. It's absolutely crazy for, like, I don't want to call this a fringe strategy, but I don't even know if it's used in Malkuth. I don't personally use Malkuth right now. My buddy Devin was talking about this, and he plays Malkuth pretty religiously, so maybe it's worth checking out if you did want to get into that deck. Purchase them while they're still not $10, while you still can. Insectio Angel, same deal too. Again, $4, 4 copies for $5 being sold out. Market price of $313. Absolutely nuts. There are a couple copies listed a little bit cheaper now, which I actually really like. But at the same time too, once this 1 or 2 playsets kind of bought out, it's almost a $5 card for a double rare from the Astral Force. So these are very good cards. Don't get me wrong. It's annoying to play around them, but at the same time, I don't really see the value in it. The clan's not topping in general. Maybe I'll eat my words, and we'll see after this weekend. But very excited. But overall, I think that is the main gist of the cards that I see really moving. If there's anything that I missed from V, let me know. Definitely interested in what you guys think is the meta going into this weekend for the tournament. Just wanted to generally check up on this set over here. We see the SP, what was it, the Musketeer is kind of falling a little bit. The Grand Ezel is staying in line, as well as the Musketeer, what was it, the SVR or BSR version of it. Raging Full, I don't even think anybody's bought Raging Full. Let's check the sales history here. There actually, there was 1 or 2. I can see this falling. I actually really love this deck. It's like such a high roll deck. It's so fun though. I think it's really interesting, and if you're a real Shadow Paladin fan, I guess you can go bling out the deck, but doesn't seem to be a lot of demand. 11 listings over there. I would probably wait a little bit. Over here you see the regular SP. Actually got lucky enough to pull one of those. They fell. Everything else is pretty much stable. Amon stable at that. Scissors fell a little bit. Kaitis reversed. Yeah, everything is decently stable in the set. If there's anything that looks like it's flaring up, definitely let me know down in the comments below. Alright, getting into the next set over here. So I think we went backwards. I think it started with 4 and now we're doing 3. But Jewel Knights is picking up a lot of steam in premium. I see a lot of people playing it, and what was this guy? This guy was right around that price. Yeah, they were selling for like $100. Now they're all the way up to like $215. I think the new floor has been set. The price is really kind of stabled out. If you want, there's only 1 copy in that 100s. This is a really cool card. It's a good deck in V. It's not the best deck, I think, but in premium it could be good. I see a lot of people talking about that, so very interesting overall. And I told you this would fall. It's just kind of been falling. I don't think Himiko is like a great deck overall. What is it? 1 copy sold for 93. Yeah, you see this kind of just falling, and I could see this. It's probably going to stay around here for a while. In 3-4 months, it might drop a little bit more. But overall, the rest of the set, I think, has also been fairly stable. You see the reverse there. Yeah. Where is it? Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, everything is pretty stable. These Jewel Knights, again, pick them up now. If you plan on playing them at any point, bite the bullet, do it now. Shifting over into Overdress, I think that we have a really interesting situation going on because we saw a lot of reveals, obviously for new sets. Everyone has their opinion on them. I think this set's interesting in general, and I think that people are starting to list a little bit more of these. I know we're getting the reprint of set 4 over here, but at the same time, I think, you know, I just saw copies kind of come back on the market for this. This was like sold out for so long, and now we see a bunch of copies, $370. The market price is what, $350? Yeah, and people are buying it for that price. Like it's crazy. Like the other day, someone bought 2 of these for $374. That is nuts. So these are kind of back on the market. Magnolia is sticking around to that $349, $207, $183. Everything else fairly stable. This guy did drop like I said it would. People want the other version of this DSR. I personally like this one. I have one of them. I think it's really cool. It's just more my style. And I think in general, like, we haven't seen the floor for this. You know, $72, it's actually a really good deal. But overall, I can see it hanging around that $80 price range for sure. And then in this set too, Brainwash Swirler, I just wanted to point this out. Super value, very good card, being used in Bruce and Barrow now. I think people are seeing the value in this card, and I think a lot of people disrespect Bruce, but it is actually a really decent deck. Shout out to you, AJ. Still got to give me your list. It's like the anti-prison list, but we see people are buying it. I mean, at this price range, you know, $10, $10, people are willing to pay a little bit more, even when this reprint is right around the corner, because SpringFest is coming up for a lot of people. So again, if you're a motivated seller, do it now. I want to talk about too the issue still. I'm still going to talk about this every single week. Overtriggers are going insane. If you have a new player base trying to get into this game, trying to build new decks, things like that, it's so annoying to swap these triggers between our decks. And I mean, if this is the only kind of like omega trigger, like super awesome trigger, we need a reprint, or we need like a new mechanic kind of entered into the game, because, you know, the generic one is good, but these are clearly better. And we see this guy is now rocketing. I mean, its market price is $22. 2-3 weeks ago, it was not like this. People are buying them at that price, which is absolutely insane. And again, people are motivated buyers right now because all of this SpringFest is going on. Like, Premium needs them, obviously Overdress needs them, he obviously doesn't, but we see people want this, and they are flying off the shelf over here. As we can see, only 4 listings. There is 1, 2, 3, it's 5, there's 7 listings. There are 7 copies total being listed. It's just such a problem, because if you have like this new game, new kind of player base and stuff, you can't have a $23 trigger. Like, it should not exist. It's just bad for like the health of the game, I think. At a higher rarity, yeah, whatever, they could charge $100 and I still wouldn't be upset. But at the same time, like, I'm looking to get a base rarity, double rare kind of thing. Like, you have to give us some more over triggers, kind of like the ratio or something of Lyrical, because this is crazy. $27, 3 of them purchased today. 27, 27, 27. Absolutely nuts. Let's look into this. What was, I mean, yeah, day after day, they're just getting bought for that price. It's absolutely nuts. So either a reprint on this, or just like a reissue set. Give these as promos, something. I hate the promo distribution in general. I think it's really bad, so maybe don't give them as promos, but box toppers or something, that'll be good. Cool. So, and then next up, the next overtrigger, again, ridiculous prices. I sound like a broken record. Only 2 listings here. Absolutely insane. $30, $29. Crazy. This is $35 with $5 shipping with somebody who's never sold anything before. So I'm not saying they're a bad seller, they've never sold anything. So it's actually kind of crazy. And this guy is the only one who's kind of hanging on to that $10 price range over here. Sochi is decent. I think Magnolia is really good. I think it's kind of just established itself as like the budget nation in a lot of different ways. So I personally like this Omni trigger. I think all the over triggers should have been what this trigger really is, minus the 100 million. So, you know, it is what it is. And again, this guy is, I think, slowly creeping up to, yeah, once the 8 copies over here for $12.99 get sold, you start to get into like 13, 14, so on and so forth kind of area, just becoming very expensive. So moral of the story, guys, if you're playing SpringFest, buy this now. Don't try to get gypped when you're there. Have somebody offer it for $25 or whatever. It's so annoying. And along that same vein of just necessary things, I don't think we've seen the floor for PGs. These are base rarity PGs, necessary 4 of in every single Dark States deck. They're $5. Like, that is crazy. Again, so if you're Bushy Road and you're asking somebody to get into this game, you know, hey, look, I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh, I'm playing Pokemon, I see all my friends playing Vanguard, let's do it. All right, go and buy $20, $30 worth of just this boring trigger, or boring PGs. Go buy a $30 over trigger, and then go build the rest of the deck, so that you're already in for $50 when it should be like a $50, $60 investment, I think, personally, for most decks kind of in Overdress. You know, I might be wrong on that. A lot of people might disagree, but the prices of these are just astronomical. And again, I have multiple playsets of this, but I want to start building more decks too, like the Fox Lady and whatnot. And it's like, am I gonna go buy $20 worth of PGs, or am I just going to keep swapping them between my decks? Like, I've already bought like 3-4 sets, and I guess I want more, but there has to be something going on here. There has to be some kind of reprint, because again, every single nation is the same deal. And Stoichia 2, I think, is pretty popular because Fedora is good right now. There's a lot of stuff you can actually tutor out with the grade 1s, obviously with the markers and whatnot. So in Premium, there's implications. In Standard, I think Flagberg is actually decent. Zorg is okay overall. I think it's pretty decent as well. And Magnolia is actually really good. It's actually a top tier contender in my mind. So I could see these becoming a little bit more expensive, but at the same time, we still need a reprint. Like, it's crazy. And then the same thing for these guys. Like, every single one's like $5. So thank you for listening to me complain for the last like 5 minutes. I definitely appreciate it. But let me know your thoughts on these. I know I've kind of gone over week, but I just really want to bring awareness. Like, this is crazy. I don't think it's healthy for the game. I don't think it's easy to get new people into it if, you know, you have to buy the most boring cards in the deck for pretty much the highest price. So let me know if there's anything that I missed down in the comments below. Let me know too if there's anything you want to see covered next week. Definitely appreciate it. And if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 1,000 subs, so I really appreciate that. I think once we do that, I want to do a couple different things, kind of take this channel maybe to the next level. We'll see. So thank you again. This is Alex from Team Generations signing out.